from practice for the Philadelphia 76ers without notice or without reason why given to management or the coaching staff. And this was the first practice that James Harden has missed, though he has not been at any of the preseason games for the Philadelphia 76ers, which is not necessarily anything to raise your eyebrows up about, because there's a lot of players that don't attend preseason games. LeBron James being one of them, Kevin Durant being another. That's common. That's more common than not. But James Harden not attending practice and not giving a reason why is really the crux of this story. And when asked by reporters, head coach Nick Nurse stated that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to move on with or without James Harden, something he stated when he first got to Philadelphia earlier in the summer, back in June. So he's just reiterating that statement again, making it clear to the organization and to people watching that James Harden is not going to be running Philadelphia. Philadelphia is going to do what's best for them, with or without James Harden. And I talked about this previously on one of our earlier shows about how I respected James Harden for being a professional and going to practice, showing up to practice, while knowingly not being in an environment that he wants to be in. Not only does he know it, but also the public knows it as well. So I respected him for being professional enough to go to work, something that we should all be doing. And one of you guys actually commented on the video and said, well, he has to if he wants to get paid, which is absolutely true. You know, he even if the incentive is getting paid, you're still going to work. And so I respected James Harden for doing that, but also for showing growth, because it was a different action from what we're used to seeing him do. We're used to seeing what he did in Houston, to what he did in Brooklyn, forcing his way out, not showing up in shape to training camp, quitting, for lack of better words, in the games. We have seen that action time and time again, so we were expecting that to be the same in Philly. But when he showed up to practice in shape, in rhythm, not causing a stir in training camp, it was refreshing to see. And it's unfortunate to see a story like this, because James Harden doesn't necessarily benefit from this. This doesn't increase his trade value, it only diminishes it. Because, believe this, and I know this from first-hand source, GMs and owners see the what we call attitude problem, or they see the way James Harden acts with these other teams, and GMs and owners see that and they say, well, we don't want to bring that to our organization. We don't want to deal with that headline. We don't want to have to worry about James Harden affecting our culture, because that's what's going to happen. That's how owners and GMs think. They don't want to touch James Harden right now with a 10-foot pole. And it's unfortunate, because James Harden is still an all-star level player. You saw that he averaged 10 plus assists, and he led the league in assists last year. And it's unfortunate, because being in the NBA for this long, you would expect James Harden to know better, or to move more shrewdly and operate in a more professional manner that will allow him to get where he wants. If you're and that's the main reason why he hasn't been able to get traded. Not because of his skill set, not because of his talent, not even because of his contract situation, with teams needing to pay him, I think it's $35+ million. That's what his extension was for the season. No, it's not because of that. It's because of this. Owners and GMs don't want to deal with that. That's the main reason why he hasn't been traded yet. The owners and GMs don't want to run the risk of this affecting their culture. And that's why he hasn't been traded yet. That's why James Harden hasn't been traded yet. And I firmly believe this, and I know this from a primary source. I've been told this, that if James Harden didn't have these issues right here of him allegedly quitting his way out of organizations, he would have been traded the day the season ended, or the day he signed that extension. He would have been traded. But teams don't want to deal with this, and it's unfortunate to see, because I do believe if James Harden stays in Philly, the Philly has a chance of contending with the East. I'm not saying they'll win it, but they have a chance to contend. But now there's so much uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's unfortunate to see. But let me know what you guys think about this right here. What do you guys think about James Harden once again possibly showing signs of trying to quit his way out of an organization? Or do you think this is just, we're as media pundits and reporters, we're reading too much into this? Do you think it was just one practice he missed and we're overreacting, or is this a sign of things to come? I would love to know what you guys think. Share your thoughts in the chat room. Also, I do want to add, at this point, it's reported that he was in Houston the day he missed practice. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he was doing in Houston. I haven't done enough research yet. But don't know what he was doing in Houston, but he was in Houston. So maybe this could be a sign of things to come. We know how much he loves Houston, how much he wants to get back to Houston. It's very interesting, that dynamic, that connection that James Harden has with Houston. It almost reminds me of like an MK Ultra programming where that where assets are triggered by certain phrases, words, or locations. I don't know, I just find that pretty interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the chat room. About this entire situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But with that being said, guys, that's it for our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a wonderful show. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, so you guys can stay up to date on all of our latest content. And be sure to follow us on Patreon as well. You can do so by going to patreon.com, clicking on the search bar, and typing in Sorry to Bother You Show. That way you can get access to all of our exclusive content that we post daily. And if you'd like to support our company, our media company, you can do so by following the link in the ticker below. It's streamelements.com/sorrytobotheryoushow/tip. Once again, it's streamelements.com/sorrytobotheryoushow/tip. We'll be back again, guys. Same time. Oh, sorry, not same time tomorrow. We'll be back in on tomorrow, Friday, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our college football show. So until then, guys, continue to stay safe, be vigilant, make smart decisions. Until next time, peace.